So on April 16th, 2024, the Carolina Hurricanes were playing our final regular season game in Columbus. We'd already clinched a playoff spot. The Blue Jackets weren't going to the postseason. So basically, neither team had anything to play for, and both of our teams were resting starters. Jesper Fast was still in the lineup. And late in that game, he chased the puck deep into the Columbus Blue Zone, and a Blue Jackets defenseman, Eric Gudbranson, came in behind him and cross-checked him from behind, driving Fast face first into the boards. It was the last shift that Jesper Fast would ever play in the NHL. Now, let me tell you the full story because Caniacs, we need to understand what we lost that night and what we got back a year later. Jesper Fast was never supposed to be an NHL star. He was drafted by the Rangers in the sixth round in 2010, 157th overall, way down the list, right? Kids picked in the sixth round usually don't have long NHL careers. Most of them, many of them never even play a single game. Fast was an exception. He made his NHL debut with the Rangers in 2013 2014 season. He was never a top line scorer, never a highlight reel guy, just a Swedish winger who did every little thing right. Killed penalties, won battles along the boards, made the safe play, never took stupid shifts off. 7 seasons in New York, he was the kind of guy that every coach in the league really want in your bottom six. So when Foss hit unrestricted free agency in October 2020, you probably already guessed it. That guy sounds like a Hurricane. And the Hurricanes made him one of our signature offseason additions that year. 3 years, $6 million. A modest salary for a modest role player. Exactly what Rod Brindamore wanted. But Foss fit in Raleigh like he was born there. For 3 years, Foss was one of the quietly most quintessential guys on the Hurricanes roster. He wasn't scoring 30 goals, he wasn't making all-star teams, but he was the guy that Brindamore put on the ice against every other team's best forwards. He was on the line with Stahl, and that line's job was simple. Shut down the other team's best players. Whoever it was, just handle it. Foss never scored many goals, but he was on the ice for shifts that matters for us. And in 2023, the front office rewarded him. He got a 2-year extension, $4.8 million total. The kind of contract that basically said, we want to see you here and hopefully finish your career as a Hurricane. Then came the 2023 playoffs, and you had to see this to believe it. Everything Jesper Foss had ever been to the Carolina Hurricanes hit its peak during that playoff run. First round against the New York Islanders, game two, April 19th, 2023, in overtime, Foss scored the winner. First playoff overtime goal of his NHL career against the Islanders. Second round against the New Jersey Devils. 5 games, May 11th, 2023. Series clinching goal came in overtime off the stick of Jesper Fast. He became just our fourth player in Carolina Hurricanes franchise history to score multiple overtime winners in a single postseason. He finished the 2023 playoffs with 6 goals, team high in postseason goals, in Carolina uniform, in a playoff run that ended with Carolina losing in the Eastern Conference Final to the Florida Panthers. For a role player who'd made a career of doing the little things right, Foss was suddenly the guy who's doing the big things right too. And every Caniac in Raleigh knew his name. Number 71 jerseys were everywhere in PNC Arena. He was in the middle of the best 2-year stretch of his professional career. And then came April 16th, 2024. The Hurricanes had already clinched. We were going to the playoffs. The game in Columbus meant nothing to either team. Both teams were resting players. Foss was in the lineup because that's who Jesper Fast is. If the coach was dressing you, you played. You didn't take shifts off. You didn't ask to be rested. Late in the game, Foss chased the puck into the Blue Jackets' end. Gudbranson came in behind him. Foss wasn't looking. He cross-checked him in the back, and Jesper Fast went face first into the boards. Rod Brindamore's quote, "That's the part of the game that makes you sick, to be honest with you. You're just trying to get through the game without having that, and I'm not sure where that's going to go." Nobody knew yet how bad it was. Foss tried to come back even. He couldn't. He missed the entire first round series against the Islanders. He missed the entire second round series against the Rangers, the team that drafted him, the team he had wanted to beat. Carolina lost that series. Foss never played. At the year-end interviews, Foss showed up wearing a neck brace. Said it's definitely one of the toughest periods of my career. He was 32 years old, and nobody knew if he would ever play again. On August 6, 2024, he underwent neck surgery. The Hurricanes announced he would miss the entire 24-25 season, and he spent the year on long-term injured reserve. He never dressed for a single game. Carolina made the playoffs that spring without him, and Foss watched from home, still recovering from the surgery that had ended his career. On June 2nd, 2025, 33 years old, he officially announced his retirement. His statement was pure Jesper Foss. Understated, grateful, no bitterness on the hit, no anger about the way it ended. Just his quote, "I never took for granted the privilege of playing in the best league in the world. I'm grateful for all the teammates, coaches, staff, and fans from the Rangers and Hurricanes who made my time in the NHL so special." He finished his NHL career with 703 regular season games, 91 goals, 157 assists, 248 points. He played 80 playoff games and put up 27 points, including those 6 goals during the 2023 Carolina Hurricanes playoff run that us Caniacs will remember forever. It's not bad for a 6th-round pick who was supposed to be a career minor leaguer. But 33 years old is young. Foss could have played 4, 5, maybe 6 more years if his body had held up. And the hit ended his career happened in a meaningless game that shouldn't have been dangerous. That's the tragedy of it for me. Not that he retired, every player retires, but the tragedy is how it happened. On a shift that didn't matter, in a game that didn't matter, from a hit that never should have happened. And here's what I want every Caniac to sit with for a minute. Every single one of these guys we cheer for is doing something dangerous. Every single game, every single shift. We buy our jerseys, we show up at PNC Arena, we watch on TV, we celebrate when they score. We don't always think about what it actually costs to play the game at this level. These guys are 200-pound men skating at 25 miles an hour into other 200-pound men. They're getting hit with sticks, they're getting checked into boards, they're taking pucks off the face every game. And any one of those hits could be their last one. Any shift could be the one that ends a career. Jesper Foss played 700 NHL games. He was 32 years old. He had a family, he had a contract, he had years of hockey left. And it ended on a meaningless shift in a meaningless game because one guy hit him wrong from behind. Not even saying it was a dirty hit. That could happen to any one of the players on the team. Every guy on the roster, every game. So when we cheer for these guys, we buy the jerseys and yell at the TV, remember what they're actually doing. They're putting their bodies on the line for the crest in front of that jersey, for this team, for the city of Raleigh, for us fans. They don't have to, they choose to. So don't ever forget that when you're cheering them on. Here's the part that makes this Caniac story worth telling. 2 months after his retirement announcement, on August 20th, 2025, the Carolina Hurricanes announced they had hired Jesper Foss as a development coach. Eric Tulsky was the one who made the announcement. So now Jesper Foss is working with the Hurricanes prospects, teaching them how to skate, defend, how to be professional like he did. His playing career ended in the worst possible way, but I'm thankful his hockey career didn't end. It just changed, and he's still with us. So this past June, remember when we lifted the Stanley Cup that Jesper Foss wasn't on the team, right? But he's still a Cane. He didn't get to hoist the cup as a player, came close in deep playoff runs, but he's still a Caniac. He's still in the organization. He's still building the next generation of Hurricanes. So I just want him to be part of that story. So for his hockey career, for us, it's not the ending. It's the career-ending hit, but it became something else. And Jesper Foss is now and will forever still be a Hurricane. He's just wearing a different type of jersey for the team right now. So thanks everything, Jesper Foss. On to the next chapter. If you're a Caniac like me, hit that subscribe button so we can keep celebrating this franchise and the guys who wear the jersey. Catch you in the next video.